Hey everybody, you're back. I'm so happy you're here. So, if you're just tuning in for the very first time, congratulations for finding the secret place where I'm hiding. And joining me, Naomi, um, yeah, and hanging out with me for a few. You can stick around at the end where I'll tell you all about like who I am and what I do and all that cool stuff. But I'm really just feeling like just jumping right in to the good stuff. And um, let's do this reading. So, for starters, I would love to open a door so that your magic can come through and hang out with me here, and my magic can come through and hang out with you there, and kind of connect the dots between us wherever you are in time and space. So when I say that, it means that this message, whatever is going to come through today, is perfect. If it's today, Tuesday, June, whatever it is, 7th, or if it's like next year. So this message is going to be perfect for exactly what you need when you need it. So even if you were to re-listen to it sometime in the future, you maybe something else will stick out, and little aha moments along the way. So that is just kind of how magic works. So anyway, if you haven't grabbed a cup of tea, I like to have a humongous cup of tea. If the cup is about the size of my head, that's a good thing. So yeah, so grab a giant cup of tea or a bowl of tea and hang out, and we will listen to what the guides have to say. Yeah, so let's light this doorway. All right. So just center yourself for a quick moment. Maybe I should have lit this a little later. Anyway, we'll just light this as we're centering in our heart space. Because the way that real magic works is when the mind and the heart are talking. All right. So as this doorway is opening ever wider for us, I'll put this over here. There we go. On the little altar. And yeah, just like, let's just take a second. Just settle yourself in wherever you are. Maybe give your head a little tap. A very dear friend of mine showed this to me, where it just gently gets your energy, kind of evens it out, gets that static to kind of dissipate, fall away. And then right here in your heart, just kind of tap. And this it gets that connection moving between the heart and the mind. All right, and in this space, I call on my guides, my higher self, which I actually like to call my all self or eternal self. I don't really feel like there's a higher, lower, middle. It's all equal. So I call on my eternal self that has wisdom that is bigger than just this small fragment of myself that lives here with you right now, and has a glimpse of the greater knowing of this place. And I call on, how about you name your guides? Name those guides, bring them in, bring them in. Bring them in close too. Bring them in close. Let's get them right here. Okay, so what's kind of funny is that when I was kind of tuning in this morning about like what are we gonna what should I even do for my video today? And what kept happening over and over was this exercise actually of cleaning the heart space. And what's kind of awesome, and if you've got a crystal on hand, it could be a big old crystal, it could be a tiny crystal, anything in between. I've got kind of a bunch of crystals hanging out with me. But the exercise here, I'll do it with the big one so that you can really see what I'm doing, is we are basically big energy conduits. So if you think of our arms as like the socket, or not the socket, the prong that goes into the electrical socket, don't actually do that. But metaphorically, so we've got, the right hand, the left hand, it creates an energy circle. I'm trying to fit in the camera. But if we start to move that energy, and the left typically lets the energy in, the right typically like releases the energy out, and then start to move that energy. And it just does this by itself. You don't have to do anything. You just have to stand or sit or lay down with your hands on a crystal and try to get that where you can start to feel the energy go through the crystal and into your hand. And do you feel where it's actually going? For me, I don't know about for you, but for me, the energy moves through my hand, up through my heart, and then moves through and across my whole body, my whole chest. And I can feel it really solid, or not solid, but really moving through my heart and then out again, and then through the crystal again. And so this is such an excellent way of doing chakra clearing, particularly your heart. And when you clean out the heart and then you just let, if you're cleaning out the heart, just imagine all of the blood that circulates in your heart is now clean and vibrant and full of like whatever crystal you just charged it up with. Now I've got like this tiny little amethyst. Like you can just do tiny little amethyst. It's kind of nice if you can kind of get like all of your fingers on the crystal. That way you don't have like one little prong hanging off, like you're focused. This crystal is always focused. It is always ready to do something for healing. That's what it loves to do. It's its favorite job. And so if we, just like do that, can pulse. I like to call it pulsing because it actually does end up feeling, after you do this for a little while, it does feel like a pulse or a heartbeat. And it's like a unifying your heartbeat and the crystal's heartbeat, which is the crystal of the earth. Think about that. It's like you and Gaia, Terra, whatever you want to call Earth, Mother Nature. It's her heartbeat and you're unifying it. It's just so beautiful. It's just so beautiful. So, here's another. I love this. This crystal is one of my favorites. Um, yeah, if you don't know, many of my best friends are crystals. And yeah, this one I especially love. Its energy is just so clearing. And what's awesome is that it has two ends, double terminated. Guys, if you're ever interested in a crystal class, I would be so happy to do one because This is kind of one of my passions. I sit around and hang with my crystals all the time. So if anybody wants more sit down exercise time with crystals and me, just yeah, let me know. Or I'll just create one and then you join it. It'd be great. Okay. Let's get into the reading now. My guides really wanted to show that specific energy exercise with the crystal. So let's see how this kind of pertains to our reading. There's all kinds of cool astrology stuff going on, and we could touch on that a little bit. I think the most fun thing right now to really think about is that in the night sky, we're having like a planet parade. They're all hanging out in a row, and a little bit like so far that's been happening for the past like month, 2 months, where they've been gradually kind of turning into a line. And so just not too long ago, there were like 4 planets in a line. So now culminating around like the 24th, like basically all the planets except for Saturn and Pluto are going to be in a line. It's so cool, so cool. And what else is kind of amazing about that specific alignment is that it goes Mercury, Venus. I've got my little notes hanging out on the floor. Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. Did I say that Saturn was not part of that? I might have confused Neptune with Saturn. Sorry, planets. Okay. Anyway, it's in order of the planets, how they move away from the sun, like in their orbits. So it's actually in order, in a line in the sky. It's just, I love this kind of stuff. When I was tuning into that, the 24th, put that into numerology, is the 6th. And yesterday was the beginning of, we had June 6th. So that's 6, 6, and then 222, which is another 6, 6, 6, 6, which is that beautiful like Merkaba energy. And yeah, which is all about heart. So we're kind of in a heart alignment portal right now. And so when we get to June 24th, the day when all of those planets are in a line in order on another numerologically 6th day, that if you think about, everything is a mere reflection of ourselves, the planets live in us. So they're all in order for us to see. So when we look at our reflection in the sky, we can see everything is in order, and it's in a heart activating space. I think that's probably why my guides really wanted everybody to know about this crystal exercise, because the crystals will help. I'm just hearing this right now, that the crystals are going to actually help us to do this in a grounded, graceful, really beautiful way. There's always an easy and a hard way, everything in between. I feel like the crystals help us take these planetary activations and help us do it gracefully in a way that is not so shocking to the system, and helps us do this gradually, slowly, in time with our heartbeat and the earth's heartbeat, so that you don't just like snap and everything is changed, and that's hard on the system. So the crystals help us do these different alignments and activations really gently. So all right, we're gonna do a little vibe check with this beautiful deck. I love it. On the bottom of the deck is a reminder for us to meditate. And I see that that heart is like a compass. So a little reminder there. So let's just take a sec and we'll tune into what is our collective. Wow, did you see that? It's just like I didn't even get the sentence out. I love when that happens. So now I have to go find. Ooh. Ooh. So when I was asking the question that I did not get the sentence out before it just popped out, it was the question or the whatever was, what is our, like, what's our vibe check? Let's kind of tune into what's going on in our soup now that we've opened this door. And it says exercise your vibes. Okay, exercise. It's interesting that moving. A lot of us live very sedentary lives now. And so remembering that, your body is so in need of stretching. This is such a reminder to me. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that stretching, moving, and then this exercise with the crystals, it's not just moving your body, it's moving your chi, moving your energy, getting it to actually, get unstuck from little places. And you generally feel those stuck places as pain. And pain is just a reminder of those spots that need to expand and begin to move the chi to its correct location. So yeah, so that's our vibe check around that. So maybe we do just a quick little mental exercise to move the chi, move the energy just within our group. And so if you've got a crystal in hand, I'll even use this. Let's see if this works. This would be cool. I'm going to actually point it at the screen from heart space. And if you think about what the heart actually is, the heart is a doorway that opens up into your eternal self. Your heart is the very first thing that actually became life when you were first created. And from your heart, everything grew around it. So your heart is the doorway that you came through when you were just the size of this. And so if you actually think about then navigating into your heart space and into where did you come from before you were here, before you actually turned into a physical being with a physical beating heart, where did that door go before you were here? And so just like letting that energy circulate through our group of the heartbeat, the cosmic heartbeat. And as my heart is beating a little rapidly, I actually start to feel it calming, slowing, grounding as we do this, like sending our heartbeat through this crystal, through each of our hearts, inviting us to kind of sync up again with that bigger heartbeat that is constantly energizing and filling us with life. It's that source heartbeat. And that's where I feel we came from. If we navigate into that door of the heart, I feel that when we go further and further into it, we actually discover that it gets closer and closer and closer to that space where all is source energy, all is just one. And that's a pretty special place. It's a pretty powerful, beautiful, healing space, because nothing, there's, it's complete perfection. It's unity where all things are loved and accepted exactly as they are. There's no need to heal because everything is perfect. And so if you let that knowing of everything is perfect just the way it is, radiating through your heart, through your blood, that's creating that energy of universal love within your own body, within your brain. It's cleaning, it's cleaning, it's cleaning, it's cleaning. And reminding each of your cells that it is perfect and beautiful, just the way it is. Yeah. All right. Tea time. So let's see what these cards have to tell us today. What is a message that would help us right now in this very heart activating space that we're in? What would help us? What's some advice that needs to come through today that we need to hear? What's some advice that would help us today? I see this one. That's the one. The spiral. The spiral. I feel like this, again, a lot of this is coming into what we're activating is that heart space. And as it spirals deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, deeper, deeper in. But it also spirals ever outward. And so what I'm getting from this card is to just really honor what place in the spiral you are in, and that everything, all of our lessons, sometimes when we see things repeating where we're like, oh man, this lesson is coming around again. Well, where it's not a complete repeat. You've leveled up many, many times since that last lesson was last in your field. And so when we're spiraling up, and we meet that lesson again, we have stronger tools. We have more wisdom to navigate through whatever that's coming up. What do you guys feel from this spiral? Let's pull some words. I love these. These are probably some of my favoriteest little tiny cards. So we'll pull some words to get a little bit more information about the spiral, a little bit more. What specifically does the spiral want us to know about right now? Oh, look at that. Oh, this is so sweet. We have daydream, and it says cultivate aimlessness. That's interesting when you think about spiral. Spiral is not aimless. I'll go on. Allow yourself to fantasize about the possibilities, even if they seem unattainable. Find a comfy spot, let the project breathe itself into you. Daydreaming about the possibilities and allowing yourself to go off track, to allow yourself to maybe take a look at different places on the spiral. This is reminding me that this is linear thinking is all a construct of the mind. And so time moving from yesterday, today, tomorrow is all a linear construct. Time, or the move, like us moving through space, is more abstract. Perhaps it is more like a spiral, where when you're sitting in the center, perhaps you can see different daydreams, different places you want to go. And it opens us up to imagination. I'm just thinking, when is the last time that you had a daydream? The last time you let yourself go off track, go off the linear time rails and allowed yourself to daydream the same way perhaps you did as a child. And what, if you can think about the last daydream, or maybe you just need to sit and allow yourself to daydream right now. What are your daydreams about? What are they informing you of? What is it asking you to venture towards? Let's see. I'm feeling like I'm feeling the guides really strongly today, and I would love to tune in to that element. So let's see. This one is another really special deck. I love this one, the Ancestors and Angels Oracle. What guide is coming through, or what archetype of guide is coming through for us in this reading right now? Let's see. Let's see. Who is this? I actually felt number 3 coming through, so we've got 2 others. So let's actually just pull those. So we have 1, and number 1 will relate to the amethyst. So tuning in, if you're tuning in, amethyst is the first card. Perhaps that is the guide that's coming through for you. Guides. Which archetype of guide is coming through for us? Ooh, that one. 2. 2 will have the energy of the hematite. This is a very kind of cool hematite that still has the crystal matrix. Oh, I love it. It has a special name. I can't quite remember what it is. Anyway, very powerful hematite. So I'll go through these again. So now the third archetypal guide coming through. That one just flew out of the deck. The third archetypal guide is going to hang out with this stunning, beautiful Chrysocola. I love it, love it, love it, love it. This beautiful Chrysocola. Okay, so again, we've got the amethyst with this archetypal guide, the hematite with this archetypal guide, and the Chrysocola with this archetypal guide. Okay. Yeah. So the first one, amethyst guide. is the she-wolf. The she-wolf. I'm feeling this energy is about knowing that you are not alone, that you might feel like you're going at it alone, but maybe you're a leader and people are following. The she-wolf is in tune with the moon and her primal heartbeat. She's fearless. She knows exactly what she's aiming at, but not in a reflective way. So the she-wolf and the amethyst. Ooh. Okay. And then this next one is the hematite and animal guardians. So whoever is finding that they've been pulled to this one, animal guardians, start to tune into your totem animal. And you might actually be seeing signs of different animals that are around you, around where you live, that are kind of paying you a visit. And trusting your instincts, leaning in to that heart space that already knows the answer. And then looking out to see confirmation out in the animal kingdom, signs and synchronicities of your animal guides being there with you. And then Chrysocola, this one, your guide, your archetypal guide, is the guardian angel. The guardian angel. Again, you are not alone. And that was the same kind of feeling that I was getting from the she-wolf. So, and this one being the she-wolf being you're not alone in terms of tribe and people, like your actual family members and your communities, that the people are there for you. This one is more angelic, it's guardian angel. This is more unseen. And so knowing that in those moments when you are daydreaming, you are co-creating this daydream with your angels and guides. They are giving you messages all the time. And a little rundown of the stones. The amethyst is very deeply like crown chakra. It's very cleaning, but like if people know about the oh my goodness, I'm blanking on the violet flame. The violet flame, which is super cleansing and incredibly mystical. And then the hematite, this one is very grounding, very deep, dark, underground earth, very releases any static, any extra stuff that does not belong to you. It dissolves, it falls, it sinks. This is very heavy. It sinks low down into the ground. And that crystal matrix then actually opens the door to what needs to actually come into the vacuum. Like once you release it, that crystal helps anchor in the lighter, brighter, more joyful feelings. And then Chrysocola is all about communication. Look at this soft, kind of beautiful green turquoise. And this is just such a healing vibration. A stone of throat chakra, also sacral chakra, heart chakra. This is a lot of chakras all at once. What I'm also seeing is that it's like making this triangle. If you look closely at this card, there's actually like a triangle slash Merkaba. And Merkaba is when you've got one triangle pointing up, one triangle pointing down. And this right here is it is a sacred geometry of the heart. And we could go into this in depth, but basically, when you've got the one triangle pointing down, it's all the higher chakras grounding. And then the triangle pointing up is all the lower chakras ascending. And so when you've got that unified alignment of energy moving up, energy moving down, when it's centered in the heart, that is when you've got that door open. And so this right here is like total confirmation of heart chakra alignment, big time with the Chrysocola. So that's actually kind of cool. So little bit coming through with this one is that the full moon is going to be a very big activation moment for you. And maybe you want to do this in community with other people, or find something that somebody, like doing full moon magic. Do some full moon magic. Possibly if you have a tribe around it, get them together and do some full moon stuff. This one with the animal guardian, I'm feeling sun. This one is all about sun activation. Like most of the time when we are clued into the signs and the synchronicities of our totem animals or our medicine animals, it's in the daylight. It's when we can actually visibly see them. And unless you're blessed to see a nighttime owl, oh my gosh, wow, lucky you. But these a lot of our animals are seen in the daytime, or we pick up on those synchronicities when we are awake, when we are in the light, when we are active. And so what I'm feeling, again, the she-wolf, this is a receptive energy. She is giving energy to you, my amethyst people. And then this one, this is energy of action. Your animal is showing you where to go and how to direct your energy. And for the guardian angel people, it's both. So tune into that heart chakra, like your heart angel, your heart guardian is really teaching you what signs and synchronicities are most important to you at this moment. Wow, I don't know. You guys have to tell me how that felt, splitting it into like 3 different groups. It felt kind of cool. Yeah, it'd be fun to maybe do something a little bit like that in the future. But I would like to just pull one last word card before we call it and we say thank you to the guides. What's one last thing? Oh, wow. One last thing. It's going to end up. That was the last thing. I was trying to fish for more because I was like, where are we going with this? But that was it. This one. We got taboo. Taboo. Take on the role of sacred rebel. Release the need to make others comfortable. Explore the fringes with pride, especially if it makes you nervous. Interesting that this is the closing word for all of this wisdom, the spiral and daydream. Who told you you're too old to daydream? It's not taboo. People need to daydream. People need to flex their imagination. And if somebody told you along the way that daydreaming is a waste of time, then maybe you take a look at what they're doing with theirs. Do they live a very fun, fulfilled, exciting life, magical everywhere? Yeah, there's me being judgy. But anyway, Who said that it's not okay to daydream? It is. In fact, it's one of the most sacred things that we can do. It's us being creators of our of the world that we want to live in. If we don't take time to actually dream it into existence with new, fresh energy, we just repeat the old stuff that we continue to cycle through, which some of it is beautiful and excellent. And it is, a treasure to hold on to from the past. And then other things are just repetitive patterns that we don't really know why we do them anymore. And we have to sit and question whether or not they are still in alignment with where we want to go. So I think that's beautiful. I think that it's time for us to invoke the sacred daydreaming rebel of time, where explore that spiral and see where you want to go. So, and you can do it with crystal energy helping you, the planets guiding, and hanging out with friends that like to daydream with you. So it was so beautiful hanging out with you. I will let this flame burn its way down, and when it is out, it will be closing that doorway for us. But at least in this space, we will thank the guides that came in, who gave us that fun exercise to do. I'm curious to see how it goes if you all try it out. Let me know. I'm so eager to hear anybody's comments and reflections. So if you do this, it'd be so much fun. Yeah, maybe put like a little crystal icon down at the bottom in the comment section, just as a little winky wink that you tried it out, or that you thought it was cool. So I'm also going to do this exercise because I feel like these readings are always so important it's for us. It's the soup that we're in, right? So these readings are not just me sitting around talking about stuff. It's also a message that I need to begin daydreaming too. What am I daydreaming about? So anyway, we will thank the guides and the guardians and the all of our unseen allies that consistently help us through all of these days, every inch of the way, up and down the spiral. I say thank you to them. So I'm gonna actually just ring this little bell to release. Little shout out to the beautiful mama that gave this to me. I think I have used it every single day since you gave that to me, if you're watching. Thank you. And yeah, so anyway, I was going to tell you a little bit about who I am and what I'd like to do, and to also tell you that if you would, I've been really exploring astrology and just the karmic patterns that we experience over and over with the spiral, and trying to see through the astrological lens what it is that we came here to dissolve, and what guides are actually helping us accomplish these different goals and things that our spirit put in place before we even manifested here. And so yeah, so those kind of readings are open, as well as like general consultations. Astrology is such a incredible, powerful tool to ask questions and and wonder about ourselves. So I don't think I have that personally listed on my website in terms of like asking questions and seeing what the planets and things might have to say in terms of what could help us get navigate through. But yeah, I also love to open up the Akashic field. This is just kind of like dipping your toe in with these readings. But in a personal Akashic reading, it would be like a full deep dive of, what spirits want to tell you personally, and yeah, as well as like distance Reiki. I do a lot of things. And so yeah, all things mystical because it's just like the realm that I like to play in. But reach out to me if you want a personal reading, or if you want to like oracle reading. Yeah, so reach out to me because right now the calendar is pretty clear. It'd be so fun to meet new friends um and see what the guides actually have to say to you personally. Yeah, be be pretty rad. um things over here are pretty good. Just got back home from Shasta last week. It seems like May was a really big Shasta month for me. I was pulled up there through synchronicity and wonderful friends twice. Oh my gosh. So if one of you out there is watching that I went with, I'm just so excited that we got to be there together, and I love you, and that was so much fun. And it's kind of interesting because then, coming home, it was just like a shock of like, oh man, I want to live in the mountains. Can I just live there forever? So I clearly want more Shasta, and that was just really, really beautiful. I had a cool, mystical, crazy, weird experience up there. Um, I think maybe this video is getting quite long, so I'll probably share that later on or on the Facebook group. But yeah, really, I'm telling you, when you go up to Shasta and if you ask your guides a question, wow, 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 do they answer it? And they answer it on the spot. Like that was just, it was all happening so fast. I hardly even, I didn't quite even comprehend the magnitude of like confirmation that speaking to your guides is, first of all, perfectly normal. And I really encourage all of you to do this all the time. Just talk to your guides. They know what's up. They know what's going on. And we see what we see, right? We see like our whatever is, in our little bubble. And then the guides, they basically have like that 360 lens of like super conscious knowing. They're actually laughing at me right now, being like, nah, not really. Everybody has a certain perspective, the guides included. But their vantage point actually is much different from ours. So it's valuable to, listen to their perspective and see what they have to offer. And then, of course, you get to make the final decision on whether or not you're going to listen or not. I know that like yeah, with me and my guides, I think um they get to learn patience with me because a lot of times they're like, you need to do this would be very beneficial to you, and then I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna do that because it's boring or it's hard or bleh. Yes, so they teach me beautiful wisdom and incredible things, and then I teach them how to be super incredibly patient and have to repeat it over and 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 over again. Okay, so My loves, it's been so much fun. I am clearly like more chattiness, and it would be so fun to continue doing this, but I'm going to let this video upload and get it out to you guys so that you can tune in to these beautiful energies. So I'd love to see more of you. Again, hit me up for reading because it's so much fun to do these in person and yeah, do more like tap into to even deeper mystical incredible informations. Okay, love, bye.